What's up? I'm back. It's a new moon, and I wanted to talk about the new moon. Check that out. It's a red light, blue lights, and most conventional light bulbs have an effect on the human eyes, which disrupts the circadian rhythm of our sleep. But new moon in Bharani. What I've been thinking about is, well, think about it. So, this new moon is in very close proximity to Jupiter, and there's going to be a new moon that's going to be in the same sign as Jupiter next. That's the next new moon after the full moon. And the next full moon, the sun is going to be conjunct Jupiter directly on the same nakshatra of Kritika. Jupiter just entered Kritika in Taurus. And with the new moon in Bharani. So think about it, right? There was a Jupiter retrograde in Bharani, and now it's in Taurus. Bharani is in Aries. There's a retrograde in Aries. So if you really think about it, Jupiter has been in this nakshatra of Bharani for I think all of last year, pretty much. All of like the whole past year, and it just entered Kritika. So what have we learned? What Jupiter's beliefs? It's the guru. It's the divine planet. The one which shows us things that we are instinctively prone to believe because they are true things. The teacher is teaching us. But it has been in Aries for the past year, and probably longer than a year. But been in Botany specifically for at least a year. And now with this new moon, it's pretty much like this short, not short, but it's this really like reminder, like this recap of everything, all of these lessons, all of these philosophical and mental belief systems that we've learned as Jupiter has been through Bharani in this entire time. But what is that? What have we learned? Who we are. Aries is I am, the first sign. It is me. Me. And that's what you could say too. You could say, oh, Aries represents me. It's yeah, it represents the self, but it's so much more. It's so much more than that. It's this Botany specifically, the god of death, Yama. I think the name means burden. or the bearer, to bear a child. Now, this doesn't mean anything like literal. I mean, it could. Maybe you did bear a child, but that's not specifically what it means. The child is you. It's you. You are a child. You've always been a child. You always will be. Children are humans. Humans are children. People, everyone is a child. People are children. You are the child. And now, Bharani is the quintessential, like the most burdenous, strictest, the most stable, firm sign, Nakshatra. And that's weird to think about because it's a fire sign, right? It's completely in Aries. But it is. It's you would think, oh, maybe an earth sign would be more stable. The earth signs are when things are more stable. With Bharani, for example, it's the process of the stabilization of everything. And that everything is you. Because so here's a better perspective. And this is why I say this new moon in Bharani is a whole recap of what we've learned. Because it's really showing us what we've learned. And it's like this, I'm sure you could relate, but with the new moon, it's this feeling of like, what, oh, what am I thinking? Of course. Of course, this is who I am. What am I thinking? Duh. Now I can progress. Now I know what to do. Everything is clear. Kritika. And you really realize who you are. Or not realize, but not just realize who you are, but reintroduce. And with that, you're able to see that, hey, everything is open to me. Literally everything. The child is in my arms. This existence is with me. It is mine to bear. All mine. That is the lesson. And that's what we've been learning. That's what we have learned with Jupiter in Aries in the whole sign. And Bharani specifically, because Bharani is like the fruit of Aries, like the middle of Aries. It's the main part. And you might be thinking, oh, of course, right? Yeah, of course. Of course the universe is in your arms. We've known this. This is what we've learned. But this new moon is really allowing us to see it. And the reason we haven't seen it is because of all the Pisces energy. Now, what do I mean? The solar eclipse in Revati and Pisces. And now Mars in Pisces in Uttarabhadra. And it's about to conjunct Rahu too. Pisces is the subconscious. It's literally the deepest and this is what the subconscious is, or the unconscious even. Pisces is literally the deepest, darkest, most secret, most mysterious part, the deepest part of your mind. The absolute deepest depths of everything that you are, of everything that you could conceive. That's why it's the final sign in the zodiac belt. It's the deepest point. The subconscious mind. Complete or completely unconscious. It is the most emotional. In it, like for example, Uttarabhadra. It's the it's Uttarabhadra is the feet, the lowest part, the holder of the entire body. Now that's not the same holder as Bharani, but and these two signs, these two nakshatras and signs, Pisces and Aries, and Uttarabhadra and Bharani have this profound connection. It's literally the transition between dying and being born. The deepest part of the mind, the deepest crevices of existence, transiting into the highest, the brightest of fires, which is what Aries is. Birth, life. So before the new moon, with the transit, before the moon was in Aries, the moon was in Pisces, and with that, it was so, because now, only now with the new moon cycle has restarted because there's a full moon in Libra while the sun was in Aries. But that's not the whole cycle. So with the solar eclipse and then the full moon, it's literally like the new moon in the Revati is we are in the deepest waters. We're there. We the darkest place. You cannot see anything. You are blinding yourself. That's what it is. With and the real burden is Pisces. Pisces is the emotional burden of everything. The and Pisces, the reason Pisces is so like the most unstable, like watery. It takes no form. It's not tangible whatsoever. It's the opposite of tangible. The reason for that is it's the most emotional, and not emotional in the sense like actual feelings even, but just like contemplation of like everything, this existence. Like with the solar eclipse, you're probably in a situation where all you can do is completely follow your subconscious. That's what I did. It was a hell of a experience, but when you're in that state, there's no there's no consciousness. What do I mean by that? There's no realization of what you're doing. There's no there's no clear thought. There's only feeling. It's you're in the depths. You can't see anything, but you can follow something. You can do something, but you don't know what you're doing. Why don't you know? Because Pisces is literally it's the last sign. Think about it. It's the last sign. It's been through the entire story of the new moon cycle. With that entire story, at the end, or at least this end with this eclipse, it's also Rahu, right? Rahu is kind of a similar idea because Rahu is this motivation towards totality, kind of this motivation towards something that really is unobtainable, not because not because and well, it's something unobtainable, and we even know that when Rahu transits each sign, each nakshatra, and this area of the sky, this area of existence becomes, it seems unobtainable, or something about it becomes unobtainable in the moment that it's transiting. It's an illusion. It's a shadow planet. It's a eclipse. You understand? Think about it like this. If the sun and the moon eclipse, uh, the moon is covering the sun. Does that mean the moon and the sun are both gone? They disappeared out of the sky. They're gone. It's a black hole. No, they're still there. They just look like they're gone. That's what an eclipse is. This thing, whatever it is, in this case it's a revati, it looks like it's gone. Like you can never have it. This unobtainable, unseeable thing. And combine that with revati, the final nakshatra of not necessarily death, but the final passing, the final stage. Revati stands for, or the word means, the name means like the wealthy one. And the reason it's called the wealthy one, it's the final one. It's been through everything. It's done everything in a way. If you think about it that way. So with Rahu and the solar eclipse in the Revati, it's the most blinding experience. It was. But enough about that. After the eclipse came the sun in Aries, which was like, whoa, finally I'm out of that. You could see again. You could see, so you're starting to see again in Ashvini, the first nakshatra, you're starting to escape this place, the subconscious. Ashvini, and this is anecdotal in a lot of ways, but the way I've experienced it, it's kind of like even though the subconscious is behind you and that whole story is behind you, you're still moving forward, and you might not see, you might not see why in the moment, but you just are. Anyway, there's the full moon with the sun in Ashvini and the moon in Libra and Svati. So we have the eclipse where like you're really deeply into your own subconscious, the own depths of everything that you are, everything that you think, your own mind. And then you come out and you have to be civilized with other people. You have to adhere to others. That's what Libra is. It's this civil discourse in a way. Not well, and it's also illusion. Svati specifically, since it's also Rahu. So with the full moon, it's showing you, hey, you are completely like there's barely a self here. You've lost yourself. You are in this situation with others where others have become so crucial to things. But now with the new moon cycle, it's like a slap in the face. Not really. It's much better than that. Some people are saying it's the best new moon of the year. Just you wait, my friend. Just you wait. But this new moon, it's like a big reminder. Like like this. It's like an alert. Like a big alert. You see? What's the alert? Hey, you're you. You can do anything. The world is in your arms. The child is yours to bear. Everything is yours to bear. Everything. All you have to do is bear it. And that's Bharani. The that's why it's the bearer of everything. That's why it's such it's the most prominent nakshatra, the most what's the word? What would the word be? The authoritarian? No, that's but the most active, the most present is bearing everything. You bear everything. I bear everything. That is what the transit of Jupiter has taught us. And this new moon is the alert. This is the scope on the Jupiter, on the philosophy. You are the bearer. With Pisces, You can't control. It's so complicated. It's so complex. With Pisces, you can't control what has happened. You can't control the past. You can't control things that don't exist. Rahu. But you can control what does. You can control everything that does exist. Isn't it wonderful? So yeah, it's fucking amazing.